guys? Travis Colt here, all by myself. Kevin Hawk's a little under the weather, so I'm going solo for Tuesday Night Live this week. We continue our build towards WrestleMania with the final Smackdown and the final 205 Live, both of which I wish were better. I don't understand how WrestleMania can be lost on so many levels, but with Raw last night, Smackdown tonight, and 205 Live, they've done a lot of backtrack. Don't get me wrong, there's been some good stuff, especially on Smackdown. There were some good stuff. But man, some of the decisions they've decided to go with, I'm not too happy about it. So let's get into it. Smackdown Live. Open up with a contract signing, officially making AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. This was unnecessary. Especially after they had already done Seth Rollins and Triple H on Raw, I think the idea to do another contract signing was completely unnecessary. I do like that they went a different direction with it, where instead of having them get physical with each other afterwards, there was actually like that Daniel Bryan getting in between them and stopping them from any actual physical action happening. So that was good, especially because we've already seen these two guys get the better of each other once, the last couple weeks. So now it's very even playing field. Whereas the Seth Rollins Triple H thing, Triple H still has the potential of Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe to help him out, where Seth Rollins is kind of like by himself, plus he's got the injury. So it separated the particular feuds, because it is a top star versus an authority figure. The matches are very similar. Feuds are different. They got to go over how the feud came together, and there was some good points made on both sides, and so that was okay. But a very unnecessary segment. This was followed up by a lot of women's action, and this is my first big issue. Is that officially, here's the graphic for you, that the Cruiserweight Championship, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is to be expected, but also the SmackDown Women's Championship match has been regulated to the pre-show. I understand. Raw is your premier show. That's what you're putting a ton of money in. But there's literally more interest. I think that there's... Okay, I won't say more interest. I won't speak for everyone. For myself, I feel like there's more stakes in the Women's Championship match on SmackDown than there is in the Women's Championship match on Raw. Just to compare the two, Nia Jax, I don't think anyone views as a potential winner. Bayley, for me, her reign has already been kind of tainted. If anyone thinks that Charlotte is going to take it back, that might be the death nail for that championship. And Sasha is going to be a contender, but I don't see her walking out. It's very obvious what they're going to do over here. SmackDown, though, especially with what happened... I'll talk about the match here first. It was supposed to be Becky Lynch versus Carmella. We had Alexa Bliss and Mickie James on commentary. Eventually, the two of them started fighting on the outside, got into the ring, a big old brawl happened, and this ended up being turned into a tag team match. Just like we had the Raw tag team match. Natalya eventually made her way down. She was on commentary. She ended up getting involved after the match was over, because we had Carmella and Alexa Bliss end up picking up the win. This was after Natalya ended up making a distraction. Becky Lynch got tripped up by Ellsworth on the outside, who was very angry in his promo. I appreciate that he's trying to get loud and vocal and trying to be more heel-ish. That's good. But the trip from Ellsworth allowed Carmella to hit an Oklahoma roll and pin Becky Lynch. Therefore, we just had a bunch of women's brawl, very much the way we had last week. And then we had the return of Naomi. Now, Naomi is super over. The crowd was super excited to see her. This was a big return for her. This was a good addition to this match, especially with a lot of the rumors going around that because she's been traveling with Smackdown, that Asuka is going to be making her way over to the Smackdown brand, reaching out to former divas and other women superstars. The fact that Kelly is going to be there, the fact that Eve is going to be at WrestleMania. There's so many options of people who could be potential available women on the SmackDown roster. So, with the addition of Naomi, which is great, she looked fantastic. She did the head scissors to Natalya on the outside, and then she blasted both Alexa and Carmella in the ring. It was a really good moment for Naomi. And I like that because Naomi is a great star. But when you literally have so many different people that have different reasons as to why they could win this match, and none of them are really bad choices except for maybe Carmella, plus you've had all of this like, oh, is Asuka gonna show up? Oh, are any of these people gonna show up? Why would you put that on the pre-show? Why would you put that on something that a lot of people are going to skip because you have a 6-hour show? Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be watching it because I especially want to see this match. The Cruiserweight Championship is something that I'm very excited to see. And the fact that both of these matches are on the pre-show really bothers me. But with the addition of Naomi, they've officially announced it as a 6-pack challenge. So there's very little chance that we're going to see Asuka show up or any other women for that matter. So maybe they're going to save Asuka's debut for the following week, and she'll be the next one to come out and say, oh, you faced everyone on the SmackDown roster except for me, and then she's going to be the next challenger. I don't know. I don't get it. We also had Breezango, Breezy Bella, Tyler Breeze, offered, told Danny Bryan, hey, if you need someone, I'm available for the women's championship match, blah, blah, blah. And he says, no, you can't be in it or whatever. But gave them spots in the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which turned into a 10-man tag match of people that are in the match. At least this made more sense than the over-the-top rope challenge that they did on Raw. It still doesn't do anything for the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't think anyone from SmackDown is winning. It's going to be a Raw star, especially when Raw has the Big Show, they have Braun Strowman, they have Sami Zayn, all with specific storylines heading into this. I don't think anyone on SmackDown, especially American Alpha, why are you not doing a SmackDown tag team title match? What the fuck? We get an added stipulation to the Raw Championship, the Raw Tag Team titles, a ladder match where this really only benefits like 2 guys in the match, that being Enzo and Anderson. But you're going to completely forego this match that was easily put right in front of you. You don't need any more build to do a rematch between American Alpha and the Usos. You could have thrown in a 3rd tag team if you wanted, just to compete with Raw. But you didn't have to. You have a perfectly capable regular tag team match that could have blown... There's no roof on the fucking building. It could have been a show stealer at WrestleMania. But you're not doing that. You're not even having the tag team titles on the show. Instead, you're having both of your tag team champions and your former tag team champions in a battle royal that they're not going to win. That being said, American Alpha, Heath Slater, Rhino, and Mojo Rawley, defeated Breezango, the Usos, and Dolph Ziggler after Mojo got a running punch on Tyler Breeze. That happened. We also had Miz TV. This was probably the best segment of the night because Miz and John Cena went ape shit on each other. The verbal bombs that were dropped in this segment makes me wish that people gave a shit about this match. There are people who care because there's people that like Total Divas, there's people that like John Cena and Nikki Bella as a couple, but it's not one of the matches that people are like, oh man, I gotta see WrestleMania to see this match. But a promo like this between these two guys, this match should be getting more attention. The question is it going to live up to the promos that it's been getting? Because the last couple segments of Miz TV with the Total Bellas bullshit and the comebacks from John Cena, I hope this match lives up to the hype that it's built because their promos are fucking fantastic. I don't see this match hitting anything near what these promos are doing. But when you have John Cena literally call The Miz a pussy on TV, that needs to be getting more attention. When you have them stepping over boundaries that people don't usually do, that's something that I think people need to be excited for. But unfortunately, it's in a match that's probably going to get lost in the shuffle of the fucking 14 matches that are at this show. 14! 13, whatever it is. I don't know the actual count. There's a number. I just counted it and put it in post. Anyway, Miz TV segment, really good. Great promos on either side. John Cena just tearing both the Miz and Maurice down. Nikki got a good one-liner at the end, and it's good stuff. Then in the main event, Luke Harper, who, for the love of God, should be in this main event, took on Bray Wyatt. First time ever on Smackdown. Actually, I think in WWE, except for house shows. House shows don't count. First time on TV, one-on-one, Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper. Fantastic match. Not super long, but I love that Luke Harper, with his slight attire change, pulling the hair back, the shape that he's gotten into, it is just enough of a change to make him look completely different, and people fucking love it. I don't think he's going to get involved in the title match at WrestleMania, but I kind of feel like he needs to. I think there needs to be, if they're going to drop the title to Randy, maybe he could be the reason that Randy gets it, and kind of have that, I don't like you, but I have an issue with Bray, so there you go, you won the championship. That doesn't have to happen. I would much rather have a simple one-on-one match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. I think that'd be great. But interference is fine, especially with how this whole thing is built. But Luke Harper needs to be in this match, regardless. But yeah, I think if they're going to drop the title to Randy, they'll do a quick rematch to where Bray gets his rematch, doesn't win, and then goes on to do a really great feud with Luke Harper. Maybe even bringing back Eric Rowan in that type of situation. That'll be great. I wish this was a triple threat match because I think it would benefit everybody. I think Luke Harper would be able to show off. I think Randy Orton would be able to put over both of these guys. And I think Bray Wyatt, as his first time being champion, would have a much more memorable showing, beating up two of the, whether he wins or loses, his first WrestleMania title defense would be so much more important if he had, if this story built to, the two people he trusted the most are now the people that he's facing. But But in the main event, Bray Wyatt did end up beating Luke Harper. Luke Harper hesitated going for the discus clothesline or the discus forearm, which allowed Bray Wyatt to hit the Sister Abigail. And then we had, oh my God, we had Randy Orton come up on the Tron. And this was, I would have gone with Randy Orton shiny eyes than watching this. Can we get away from the grave thing? Like, that's not necessary anymore. We don't need to reference it. Except, Bray can keep talking about Sister Abigail because that's his thing. I understand that. But as far as making this grave important in the story, this was stupid. Okay, so the thing that Bray Wyatt, put in front of Randy and, knighted him with last week in the whole backstage time with all the sheep people, Randy had it and stabbed the grave, and then all these little, red firefly lights popped out, and it was... That was fucking awful. That was awful. Don't do that. That doesn't help the feud at all by having bad effects. Not to me, at least. That actually kind of made me wish even more that Luke Harper was in this match, because then now I can go, oh boy, okay, so now we have I don't want it to be a supernatural battle between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. I think this needs to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, and I think Luke Harper could bring a lot to it. That's what I'm talking about. I was excited for certain things, and WrestleMania is backtracking on me. It's making me really worried about Sunday. But that was Smackdown. Had some moments, had some not so great moments. I'm not digging the order in which WrestleMania is going. We'll talk about that more during WrestleMania predictions. We'll talk about 205 Live real quick. Not a whole lot happened on 205 Live either. Rich Swann obviously getting a win over Arya Daivari. Why would Rich Swann lose to Arya Daivari? Not gonna happen. Beat him with a Phoenix Splash. Good match. Beat him with a Phoenix Splash. Mustafa Ali was approached by Drew Gulak in the back. Drew's trying to accumulate a group of people that agree in his cause that 205 Live needs to change. Mustafa Ali's like, yeah, but I understand that the high-risk moves are, they're dangerous and, and things can happen, but when I get a reaction like I do from the audience, that makes me want to keep doing it. And that's a great comeback. And then Drew kind of goes on this well, blah, 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 we can do this, blah, blah, And then he hears Mustafa Ali's music and realizes Mustafa has left and has gone to the ring to face against a guy named Brandon Scott, who got in way more offense than I expected, but he was a jobber. He is not a guy on 205 Live, and he lost to the inverted 450. The main event match, though, that was touted was fucking awesome, except for the finish. Finish was kind of lame. Brian Kendrick versus Akira Tozawa. Both of these guys, Akira Tozawa especially, this was a great match for Tozawa. This might be one of his best showings as far as everything that he's capable of. Not even from just an offensive standpoint, but from selling and telling the story. Him and Kendrick went nuts on each other in this, and this is another match that I feel like the fact that there's already a shit ton of matches for WrestleMania, I'm glad they're not doing it, but this would have been a good pre-show cruiserweight match. You build this up as one of the biggest feuds on your show, and then you go, okay, going into WrestleMania before the big card starts, you get to see these two fucking tear each other apart. And this could have easily been an opening match for the pre-show, but it's not going to be. They were on the top rope trying to go for a superplex, and Kendrick, I think, ended up getting the top turnbuckle to fall off. The top rope move never actually happened. Akira Tozawa ends up getting backed up. Goes for a running shot on on Kendrick. I assume he was going for like a splash or something. Ends up running chest first into the exposed turnbuckle, gets rolled up. Brian Kendrick picks up the win, and then says that is lesson number 9, that anything and everything can and will be used as a weapon. So this obviously isn't over because we're still learning lessons, and I'm pretty sure Kendrick's not going to win the feud, so we still need another match for Tozawa to win. That might be one of the main matches that happens at the next the next Raw pay-per-view. Maybe that'll be a pre-show match at the next Raw pay-per-view, whatever that is. I think it's Payback. But we'll see. And then we had another talk segment between Austin Aries and Neville. Neville said a lot of the same stuff. I liked Austin Aries' part, kind of comparing the two of them about how they've, you can compare them to a certain point where, they've had to work harder than other people. They've had to come through a lot of things to get to the place that they're at. And what I appreciated most from his promo is that he really sold that it doesn't matter to him that he's on the pre-show. It's the fact that regardless of where they're at on the card, whether it's the opener, whether it's the pre-show, doesn't matter. He and Neville both know that they're going to just tear the house down regardless of what spot they're in. People know, they feel in their minds that they are the main attraction. It doesn't matter that they're on the pre-show. It doesn't matter that they're not the main event. It's the fact that they are both ready and willing to fight over this championship and show why 205 Live is the place to be. I appreciate that. That softens the blow of it being on the pre-show just a little bit. I'm still really pissed off because, especially after Gallagher versus Neville, no offense to Gallagher, but I'm pretty sure Austin Aries is better than he is. To not have that on the main card of WrestleMania for the first year that the Cruiserweight Championship is back and can be defended on WrestleMania, the fact that it's not on the main card bothers me. But Austin Aries softened the blow a little bit. That was until Neville punched him in the face. They fought around a little bit. Austin Aries ended up popping him in the face with a microphone again. And then we had a little stare down between the two as 205 Live went off the air. So that was it for Tuesday Night Live. I have some issues. I'm looking forward to NXT tomorrow to remind me why I prefer NXT over the main roster, because I'm pretty sure that the go-home show to TakeOver is going to be a lot more impressive, and it's just going to make me even more excited for TakeOver. Can't say the same thing for WrestleMania. But thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Click all the links down in the description, send you all of our social medias. Check out this review along with the Indie News, Raw Review, and the upcoming midweek wrap-up, all in podcast form over on SoundCloud. Stay over here on the YouTube, though, because we do have extra videos. You will get your NXT predictions in podcast form this week, as we don't have Lucha Underground to cover, so that would be a little added bonus to the podcast. But WrestleMania predictions will be coming out this Saturday, the day of TakeOver. It'll be Saturday morning they'll be coming out. So if you want to see who we think is going to win this Sunday at WrestleMania, you need to check out the YouTube. Speaking of YouTubes that you need to check out, you also need to go over Reasonable Wrestling Fans. That's Reasonable with a W, like wrestling, where after WrestleMania has passed, we will be posting a ton of new content. Look forward to it, because we have some backlog stuff. We have punishments from past pay-per-views that we have to get out of the way. There's a lot of stuff coming, so let us know what you want to see. Check out what we've got over there so far. The link is down there in the description as well. What types of videos do you want to see? Do you want to see us do YouTube challenges, taste tests? Do you want us to do more review type stuff, more wrestling discussions? Let us know an idea of a show that you'd like to see us do. Comment over there, comment down below, get a hold of us on social media. Let us know what you want to see. We'll do our best to bring that type of content to you guys. But for now, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. Fuck 14 matches, 13 matches, whatever that number said.